From Forex Traders Daily, this is your daily analysis with Ross Mullins, live from Richmond, Virginia.
Hello everyone, this is today's video analysis for May 11th, 2016. Today we're going to be taking a look at several different currency pairs in anticipation of potential breakouts. It's important to note that this first 3 days of the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we've had a very light news calendar, very little on the news calendar to be a significant market mover over the past few days. Really, our most significant news doesn't come until we get into tomorrow morning with some news out of the UK, which will likely be very volatile and potential market mover. But the first 2 days and today of this week, very light on the news calendar. So we've seen the market kind of go into periods of congestion as we wait for more significant news to be the catalyst for market movement. So we really haven't seen significant movement across many pairs over the past few days. Let's take a look here first off at the US franc. Last week, of course, we saw the rally higher as it continued to pressure into the 9,700 level, just above the 9,700 level. Let's take it down to the 4-hour time frame. We've seen over the past couple of days the market sitting underneath 97.20. Just yesterday pressuring back into 97.50, but now into congestion inside this yellow zone. Attempted to break out above 97.50, was a very short-lived push above it, and now coming right back down into here. So I think what we're looking for here on the franc today would be either more significant movement above 97.50 to continue up towards the orange shaded area, or we're looking for some significant reversal, and that would be signaled likely by the breakdown of the 97.20 level underneath that yellow zone. So right now we're kind of stuck inside there. We were like that back here as well. We needed to get outside of this yellow zone, above it to go higher or below it to go lower here on the US franc. It has been moving higher. Our momentum last week was bullish. So at least at this point, until we get some significant indications of reversal, I think that's the direction I'll continue to focus on until something changes, like the breakdown of 97.20. Moving over to the euro, not really much different. Last week we took sells on the euro dollars. It came back down on reversal indicators with the shooting star candlestick, took sells, targeted back down here into the 114, upper 113s, and ever since then it's just been stuck inside this green zone. Let's zoom it in here on the daily time frame a couple of times. You see the congestion back here in the green zone. Well, we're starting to duplicate that again. 113.70 at the bottom, 114.10 at the top, and it's just for the past 1, 2, 3, and now 4 days been stuck inside of here. It's not too hard to see that we either need the market to become bullish again, break above 114.10, and continue to pressure back up towards the highs into the 115 level, or it turns bearish, breaks back underneath the green zone, underneath 113.70, and starts to fall back down again, heading back down into the 113 level. Take it down to the 4-hour time frame. Again, not much different here on the 4-hour, is it? We can see it in congestion, bouncing around. By the way, we made a significant profit last or a couple of weeks ago, selling into the 114 level during this period of congestion. So if that's something that you want to concentrate on, of course, you know what the risk is. The risk is the break above 1410. So if you decide to sell 1400, 1410, look to protect profit as quickly as you can, and eventually we'll look for the breakout of this green shaded area. Last week's momentum was bearish. If we're going to see a continuation of that, it will need to break 113.70 before we look for the continuation lower. GBP USD, of course, this is where our significant news for tomorrow will be. So you need to be a little bit cautious today, I think, trading this currency pair. Yesterday, we put a couple of pending sell orders above the market, closer towards the 4,500 level. Those were not taken in the overnight hours, so I went ahead and removed them prior to the closeout of trading. So waiting on the next opportunity, I think really we could see the market just do what it's been doing for the past couple of days until we get through that significant news tomorrow at, I believe it's 7 a.m. Eastern U.S. time. So definitely being cautious on trading this pair, because the most significant news we have this week starts on out of the UK and could likely highly affect this currency pair. Of course, last week we focused on selling this currency pair into 4,500. I would like to consider that again today, but definitely being cautious on tomorrow's news. Moving on to the US CAD. Yesterday, we attempted some buys into the support zone and pushed above the orange shaded area. We bought it. It pushed back below it. I don't think that's still out of the question, that we could still see that happen. But again, we're kind of in a congestion zone. Let's go ahead and zoom it down to the 4-hour time frame. Take a look at what's been happening. We saw the push above the 128.50 level, expecting it to go higher. We had one trade go 20 plus pips of profit and went break even. We got back in at a lower price. We had a couple of people down much lower into the 28.20s, pushed back higher again. Now it came right back down, pushing underneath the 12900 level, taking us out of the last trade that we were in here. But just really into congestion and waiting for some more significant market movement. A breakdown, open and close underneath, a breakdown of 128.95, 12900. We'll likely look for a little bit of more bearish pressure back down towards the yellow shaded area. Of course, the rise of oil prices over the past few days have given way to the fall. If we see oil prices begin to slump again and go back down, that could give headway for this to go back up one more time. So definitely watch oil prices for some significant indication of direction here for this currency pair. Again, oil prices on the rise means this goes down. Oil prices, if they fall, means this would go back up. Anything back above 28 or 29.50, we'll look for the continuation of the previous uptrend here for the US CAD. Moving over to the US yen, as we move over here, of course, it has been moving higher over the past few days. Let's go ahead and zoom it in a couple of times. Been moving higher over the past week or so. Sitting right now down on the 108.70 level. 108.70, little area of congestion right there, 108.70. A breakdown of that, we'll likely look for the turn back down towards the green shaded area. Above 108.70 and then back above 109. 109.0, we'll look for it to head back up towards the purple shaded area. 4-hour time frame, again, you go over here to the 4-hour time frame. We've seen the rise, the dip, now a push back above 109. Like I said, we'll look for the turn back higher. I think that could be something to watch for today if we see the market start to become bullish again, once again, for the US yen. Moving on to the AUD USD, we've been focusing in on going short because of the cuts of interest rates out of Australia, monetary policy causing this to go down. Again, looking for opportunities. It's found significant support into the 7,300 level, making its headway back higher. That's good news. If you're looking to sell it, you actually want it to go up, don't you? You want a better investment price for your money. The question is that going to be this blue zone here around 7,400, or is it going to be a little bit higher up here towards the orange zone, closer to the mid to upper 74? So watching one of these two areas to become our resistance for potential short opportunities in the direction of our trend and momentum, eventually looking for the breakdown of the purple zone and the continuation of that. Of course, currently, like I said, we're finding support here at the purple shaded area. 4-hour time frame, as we get down here, some interesting things happening here. You see resistance at the blue zone. We've already seen that a couple of times. You see support at the purple zone. Maybe a little bit of a head and shoulders price action happening here, so you'll have to watch for that. If it breaks back above the blue zone, that could be a clue to some short-term reversal. But I don't think that that's really something that we should watch for because of those cuts of interest rates that we had several days ago for the Australian dollar. I think we should be looking to focus our efforts bearish here, but it wouldn't rule out any rise or rallies here yet on the Australian dollar. So blue zone could become resistance, watch for that, or maybe the orange shaded area, but really not a lot happening over the past couple of days. NZD USD, of course, we had some news yesterday out of New Zealand, but which caused us to rise a little bit, but not quite high enough. I was looking for the blue shaded area up here to be our resistance. We've studied that in the past, the two red circles, the blue box here, studied resistance into the mid to upper 6800s, the blue shaded area. That would be underneath our rising trend channel as well. So definitely watching that as resistance. Zoom it in a couple of times here on the daily time frame. I do have a pending sell order up here at 68.40, waiting to see if the market would come back up there into that blue shaded area, and so far has been unable to match that resistance once again. So waiting for that. If it does, great. If it doesn't, that's okay too. If it starts going back down, the next thing we look for is to push back underneath the pink shaded area. All the while, the risk, of course, is that it breaks back above the blue zone and starts working its way back higher towards the orange shaded area up here into the 6900s. Let's go ahead and take it down to the 4-hour time frame. Again, we can see the support here, the rise, and now just little bit of confusion, not really continuing the rise, not really continuing the fall, but just kind of hanging out here in the middle, right around the 6,800 level. Pink zone is our breaking point to go lower. Blue zone would be our current resistance. If you're looking to go short, I think continued rise to the blue zone would be the best opportunity for that here for the New Zealand dollar.
From Forex Traders Daily, this has been your daily analysis with Ross Mullins. If you would like to get Ross's analysis on all the currency pairs he's watching and all the trades he takes today, join him in his live trade room by clicking on the link below. Please leave any comments you have about today's video in the comments section below.